Today, the Sahara is the largest hot desert on Earth. Vast, dry, and seemingly lifeless. Rain rarely falls across this region. Much of the land has remained barren for thousands of years. Yet this landscape holds a memory. A memory that contradicts everything we see today. Scientists now agree on something. Something that once sounded impossible. The Sahara was not always a desert. It was once green, wet, and biologically alive. This was not a brief anomaly. It was a stable environment that lasted for millennia. The first clues were not found in books. They were written into the land itself. Dry valleys and buried channels began to appear. Strange landforms hinted at flowing water long ago. These features suggested rivers. Rivers where no rivers should exist. As technology improved, the desert began to speak. It slowly revealed what it had concealed. Satellite imagery exposed massive river systems. Entire networks hidden beneath the sand. What appeared empty from the surface was not empty at all. It was layered with deep history. If the Sahara was once green, something fundamental must have changed. Rainfall disappeared, ecosystems collapsed, and life retreated from the region. The question is not whether this happened. The question is how an entire world was lost. The desert does not appear empty by accident. Its surface carries subtle patterns that demand closer attention. Across the Sahara, long dry channels cut through the sand. They follow paths shaped by flowing water. These channels are not random. They form networks, branching like river systems. Some of these ancient rivers stretched for hundreds of kilometers, far larger than any watercourses seen here today. Satellite images changed how scientists viewed the desert. From above, hidden structures became impossible to ignore. Buried beneath layers of sand, entire river basins remained preserved. In some regions, dry lake beds cover vast areas. They mark the remains of once massive freshwater lakes. Sediment layers reveal repeated cycles of flooding and retreat. Each layer records a different moment in time. Pollen traces trapped in these sediments tell a quiet story. They point to grasses, trees, and wetlands. Animal remains found across the region confirm the picture. Creatures that require water once thrived here. Rock art offers another form of evidence. Scenes of animals and human life appear where deserts now stand. These images were not symbolic. They reflected everyday life in a living landscape. Taken together, the evidence aligns. Rivers, lakes, plants, animals, and people once coexisted here. The Sahara's transformation was not imagined or exaggerated. It is written clearly into the land itself. The question now shifts. What forces were powerful enough to erase such a world? The Sahara did not change overnight. Its transformation followed forces far larger than the land itself. The key to this shift lies beyond the desert. It begins with the movement of the planet. Earth does not spin in perfect balance. Its axis slowly tilts and wobbles over time. These subtle movements alter how sunlight reaches the planet. They reshape climate patterns across entire continents. At certain points in the past, North Africa received far more solar energy than today. Stronger sunlight intensified the African monsoon. Moist air was pulled deep into the Sahara. Seasonal rains arrived year after year. Rivers formed, lakes expanded, and vegetation spread. The desert was replaced by a cycle of growth. Grasslands, wetlands, and forests followed the rain. But these climate conditions were never permanent. They depended on Earth's slow orbital rhythm. As the planet's orientation shifted again, the monsoon gradually weakened. Rainfall retreated southward. Water sources began to disappear from the Sahara. Vegetation thinned. Soil dried. Sand slowly reclaimed the land. This change unfolded over centuries. But its effects were relentless and irreversible. What had once supported life could no longer sustain it. The Green Sahara was not destroyed. It was turned off by the planet itself. When the Sahara was green, it supported far more than landscapes. It sustained entire ecosystems. Grasslands stretched across the region. Wetlands formed along rivers and lakes. These environments attracted large animals, species that depended on constant water sources. Giraffes, antelope, and elephants moved across open plains. Their presence reshaped the land. Rivers supported hippos and crocodiles. Life clustered wherever water flowed. These animals were not isolated. They formed interconnected food webs. The Green Sahara also shaped human movement. People followed water, animals, and seasonal growth. This region became a corridor, a bridge between Africa's interior and the Mediterranean. Early human communities hunted, gathered, and settled here. They adapted to a landscape in motion. Rock art records these moments. Scenes of animals, tools, and daily life. These images were practical, not symbolic. They reflected a lived reality. As climate conditions shifted, humans and animals were forced to respond. Migration patterns changed. Routes narrowed as water sources disappeared. Some groups moved toward the Nile. Others followed the shrinking monsoon south. The Green Sahara was not only a place, it was a pathway that shaped human history. The Green Sahara did not vanish suddenly. Its disappearance unfolded gradually, but decisively. As rainfall weakened, rivers shrank. Lakes slowly retreated from the land. Vegetation could no longer sustain itself. Grasslands thinned, then disappeared. Animals were forced to move. Some adapted. Others vanished from the region entirely. Human communities faced the same pressure. Survival required movement, not permanence. Paths that once connected ecosystems now funneled life toward fewer remaining water sources. Many groups followed rivers eastward. The Nile became a refuge. Others moved south. Tracking the retreating monsoon rains. Over time, the Sahara hardened. Sand replaced soil, and silence replaced movement. What remained was not emptiness, but a landscape shaped by memory. Beneath the desert surface, traces of water and life still endure. The Sahara remembers its past, even if the surface no longer shows it. This transformation was natural, driven by forces far beyond human control. But it offers a lesson. Climate can reshape entire worlds. The desert we see today is only one chapter in a much longer story.